What's going on YouTube? Seek the Geek here, back with another video today. I'm gonna just be doing a video about rebuilding my bike. This is the bike in its current condition. It's on its hind legs. But I'm gonna show you everything I've done and everything I'm gonna do in the process with it. So maybe you can learn something and I can get a video out of it, entertainment for you. And maybe again you learn something, so let's go. All right, so the first thing I'm starting with is the back reinforcement. So if you remember, it cracked around here. And this is the same thing that happened down here. And this is because the drive chain in the engine is on this side, and it's just like there's so much horsepower, so much torque that's going through this side of the bike, because this is a pedal bike, you know? This is there's no chain on it, but this is the pedal side. And this bike wasn't really made to put an engine on it, you know? So yeah, if you remember, it broke around here, so I welded that with my new welder, titanium. It's from Harbor Freight. It was about $200 for the whole kit with the mask and the gloves and the flux, right? Which is fine. It was a good birthday present for me, so I can learn how to weld and learn how to fix my bike. So these are the welds, right? I did originally weld around this, but I'm gonna explain that in a minute. So I added a reinforcement here. So I had a friend do this bottom part. They welded around there and added a reinforcement, and it still hasn't broken yet, really strong. And so that's what I did here. I did this metal bar, welded it there. I did a tack right here, tack right there. So it went all the way around here, all the way around here. And I'll show you these bottom welds. And these welds don't look great, I'm gonna be honest, but hey, if it'll hold, and I'm a new welder, so this is my first actual like kind of job I've done. This is this side. I made sure to make it pretty thick, because here's the thing, right? If you just weld around this, it's just gonna crack next to the weld. So you need to add a reinforcement, and most importantly, add a reinforcement where it's gonna be pulling and pushing, right? This is the side of the drive chain. It's me pulling this way and pushing this way, and that's how it cracked, you know? Again, because of the horsepower and stuff. And so you can't just weld around this, because what's gonna happen, and what did happen, is it just cracked right next to the weld. So if you see this side, it's unwelded. I haven't welded this, but when it did crack, it cracked right next to the weld. And so that's one of the reasons it's so thick over here. But also one of the reasons you need a reinforcement. And you need to be looking at where, you know, where it's gonna be pulling, where the forces are gonna be. And so when I first did it, I thought I could just, okay, I can use these, right? That's what I thought. Put one here, which is where the crack was, and put one here where the crack was also. Without this metal bar, just weld these on over the cracks. But that's not gonna work. It's just gonna make the metal thicker. And again, it's gonna crack right next to it. And you know, the reason this is good is because it's taking pressure from here, you know, so if it pulls this way, it's grounded here, here, and over here. So if it pulls, it's gonna be strengthen this whole thing, you know, and the bar. So it's gonna be pretty strong. So you have the reinforcement, reinforce it where it's gonna break, right? And maybe what you could do is, if you don't have a metal bar right this, because this is just scrap metal, right? You could cut both sides of this wrench, boom right there, and then you have a metal bar, and maybe you could weld it like there. You know, that's a pretty good size. I don't know, I'm just saying, you know, if you need a reinforcement, maybe you're building a chopper, that's something you could do, just keep in mind. But yeah, these are some more of the welds. There's some down there too, and the ones down here on the bottom aren't good. I'm not saying these top ones are good either, but I'm saying the bottom ones are worse. That's the reason, because like, I mean, look at this. You know, if I had the bike like this, I can't just weld like this, because all the lava, all the flux or metal is just gonna drip down, right? And it's gonna create air bubbles. So what I had to do was lean this bike up, like on a ladder pretty much, pull this up, and then squeeze my hand through here, and like barely weld it. So that's why they don't look good, but also they don't look good because I'm not great at welding. But there's two things I'm gonna do. So this is what I had to cut off to add this reinforcement. This is for the back fender, which I do need. I don't need it, I guess, but it is nice to have, because it you know, it makes the dirt not go on the frame and stuff. It catches it. So what I'm gonna do is use the angle grinder, cut this down so it's raw metal, and smooth it out because it's pretty messy right now, and tack it right there in the middle. Not like this, not like this, but you know, right in the middle. And so I still have a back fender, which is gonna be nice. So I'm gonna show you that process. And I noticed my seat broke. This is the second time this has happened back here. When I first got this bike, it had clearly been sitting outside for a very long time. So it cracked around the seat post. So I had a friend weld it. Shout out to G-Man, he's the man that did it. He has a YouTube channel in the description. But yeah, I say we get on with the road. Yeah, just focus on this. Step one. Let's do it. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the vise like this. Take the angle grinder, clean up these edges, make it smooth, make it level, and take it out, and that's pretty much it. So I'll just do a time lapse, I guess. It's been about an hour, and I just finished welding. And this is the seat. It cracked around there, so I made sure to weld that. We can go in the sun here, get a little better of a view. Those look all right. I'm sure it's gonna hold just fine too. And these, so I'm welding with flux core. And you know, with every pass through or every weld, I always, you know, scrub down the flux on the outside of the welds with a grinding disc like this, which is just a, I don't know what you call it, and this, a hard brush. But none of those can fit in between this. So that's one of the reasons it looks so gross. But whatever, we'll move past that. This is the fender part that holds that. And I made sure to put it right in the middle, parallel, I guess. These are the two welds right here. Again, they don't look good, just being honest, but it's not like this is putting a bunch of weight anyway. So that's a quick little update for y'all. That's step one done, I guess, after spray painting, because you know, you have to spray paint it so it doesn't rust. Spray paint, then part one done. Move on to part two, which is the tire. I'll explain that once I get to it. Let's go. All right, so I'm getting ready to spray paint this. You know, again, spray paint it because you don't want it to rust. Because this, if I leave this outside tonight, it'll rust immediately. Like, I'll have to re-sand everything. This is the color I picked out, and this is lucky because I didn't have to buy this. I can't buy spray paint in the first place, but this has been in our storage for like 5 or 6 years, and nobody's used it. I'm the first one, and it's still pretty full, so it should do this job perfectly. I have everything masked off that I don't want spray painted. You know, I want that spray painted, all of this spray painted. So yeah, let's get it. Well, I just finished spray painting. It's still drying a little bit, but I pulled all the tape off. I spray painted, painted these, and I should have taped more because honestly, there's silver spray paint everywhere, even in the gas tank. It's really windy outside today. I did this one too. I just think it's a nice little touch, you know. So you can see it got that clutch lever. Not a big deal to me, honestly. But back here, I can show you how decent of the paint match it is. Once I wipe it down with WD-40, you can barely tell, but you can see right there was tape around that, so it's spray painted here. Around here looks pretty good. You can see I spray painted that part. You can definitely tell, but I don't think it looks horrible. And y'all, I ain't looking for nothing perfect, all right? I just want to get riding the road. That's all I care about. All I care about is me, my bike, and the road. And faster I can get on the road, better, happier I'll be. As you can see down here, it looks all right. But so now everything in the frame is done. So what I'm gonna do is clean it, put it layer of WD-40 on everything, so it gets a nice patina, nice shine, and start working this back wheel. This is probably gonna be the hardest part of the build. So Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm a very cheap man, so to balance the tire, I have 2 jack stands. They're the same jack stands, so have them up at the same level. They're both very parallel. You can see in the background if you hear any noise. My dad just got his truck running. He's trying to sell all his cars. I'll make a YouTube channel for him. But so basically all I do is I spin it, and you can see it's kicking and shaking a little bit. And so what I do, I get it spinning pretty fast, and I get something like a table or something, put it here and grab a Sharpie and just hold it until it barely touches it. Only touches the part that's untrued. And then I look at that. You can see I've done this a little bit. Wherever this blue is where the Sharpie touched. And I loosen these, and then on the other side on the opposite spokes, I tighten those. I do that a little bit at a time. I do it the same doing the same thing on the other side, on this side. But what I'm gonna do right now is, since I got it trued to the best of my abilities, it's not very true, but I'm pretty sure it bumping up and down is just the aluminum, because I've gotten this as close to true as possible. I mean, this is such a big tire, and you can see on a normal tire how the spokes are on the same line like this, very close to each other. This one, see, the spokes are literally across from each other, and it's a 20-inch tire. So what I'm gonna do now, I got it true to my standards. I'm gonna focus on this rag joint. You can see it's a little wavy. The frame rate is making it look worse. You can see it's a little wavy. And so basically what I've done is the same thing with the Sharpie. You can see this is the high point. What I've done is tighten that down. But I've tightened it down so much, I'm worried if I do it anymore, it's gonna break the spokes. So what I'm gonna do is just loosen this entire rag joint, start over, and redo it. Because if I tighten these anymore, I'm worried I'm gonna break a spoke. So I'm just gonna work on that, probably do a time lapse. So I got it pretty trued. One thing that helps me is writing numbers on all of them. That helps me pretty well. Rag joints can be a little bit of a pain. I do think they're a little better than CNC joints. That's my opinion though. But you can see, look at that. Pretty true. Frame rate still looks bad though. But I might mess with it for a minute or two. But you know, I always make sure to tighten the bolts on the inside enough to where the lock washer, you can see that's a lock washer right there, to where that closes. So there's a few I still need to tighten, and I make sure to put blue Loctite in all of the holes, all the bolts. These already have old Loctite in them, so they're still gonna be strong. You just don't want the bolts flying off, you know. That's about it. So, you know, I think this is as good as the wheel's gonna get. Again, not perfect, but again, good enough for me. So yeah, that's pretty much the wheel. I still have to put on the tire and the tube. The tire's coming tomorrow. It's been delayed like 2 weeks by now. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's all I have to do with this. I think I'm gonna start mounting a motor and so on. So yeah. All right, so this is called you try again, and then you fail, because I failed miserably. I failed and succeeded. So basically, if you saw, this nut, this stud, I guess was what you call it, is connected to the crankshaft. And the crankshaft is connected to the small gear and the clutch and the piston. It's what drives the entire engine, right? And I cross-threaded this because I'm an idiot. I tried to drill start my engine. Don't drill start your engine, y'all. You're gonna make the same mistake I did, which is cross-threading that. I cross-threaded it, all right? Big deal, right? Go to Home Depot, buy a re-threading kit. Oh, they have it in every other size except the one I needed. This is metric. and it's a measure 8 1.25, but they had it in measure 6 1.0, which is one size below, and the old kit was like 44 bucks, and it didn't even have the size. I didn't even want to pay that money anyway. So what I ended up doing was I put some, I guess you would call this wick, soldering wick. This was in our toolbox, and I put this in the spark plug hole, and I basically just tightened this down as tight as I could. It's cross-threaded. What else are you gonna do, man? The fix would be either re-thread it with a tool, which I don't have unless I ordered it, or buy a new crank, in which I might do in the future, buy a balanced crank, which would lower vibrations in this, which would be nice. But man, I'm just trying to do a fix, go up the road, you know, you feel me? I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. But the lesson here is do not drill start your engine. Oh man, but I've got the wheel on the tire. It's incredibly unbalanced and incredibly has zero amount of tread, but we're gonna throw it on and get on the road, y'all. Something's gonna break, I swear. Oh man, all right. Well, this is how it goes. So yeah, that's just what I had to do. You know, I guess the other fix I could have done is where this lock washer is, those threads behind it are actually good. So what I could have done is cut it all the way to there and put Loctite on the bolt and do those little threads. That would have been sketchy. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, well, let's just keep rolling with it. Pretend like it didn't happen, you know? Pretend like I didn't even try to drill start in the first place. All right, well, let's just do that. Let's just do that. All right, I'm gonna put the back tire on, the front tire on. We should be right in. One chain done. Take the other side. Check tension. That's perfect tension, dude. That's perfect. Make it a little tighter. All right. Add the seat. All right, boys. Well, I rode it a little bit that night. I fixed it. Only for about 5 minutes because it was dark. And this thing is sketchy when it's dark outside. But I'm ready to take it out. It's the next day. Got it running. Hopefully nothing breaks. I just have to keep in mind this back tire has no tread and is dry rotted. Same with the front one, but this one at least has tread. This back inner tube has been patched 4 times. It's been patched 4 times. What are you gonna do? Gas tank is full. This is a cold start, so we're gonna choke it. We'll be on with the road. Let's go. Peace out.